And finally this week for Ask Kochie, I have a question from Sydneysider Zak Taylor.
Hi, I'm Zak Taylor. I run my own fitness business, but COVID has really thrown a spanner in the works with the uncertainty of lockdown. I know about the main government grants for businesses affected by COVID, but are there any other grants that I might not know about, and how do I get them?
To help me answer Zak's question, I'm joined by Kristina Kipper, partner in charge of mid-market at KPMG Australia. Kristina, thanks for joining us. I need all the help I can get with this because we hear so much about the COVID packages from New South Wales and Victorian governments, but what are some of the other grants that are available for small business to use?
Well, there are many government grants available both at federal and state level. These are typically aimed at growing priority sectors, the regions, and of course, job creation and skills development is always high on the government's agenda. So there is the Jobs Plus program and the Regional Job Creation Fund for those who are trying to expand their footprint in New South Wales. And then there is, as another example, the Victorian government's Digital Jobs program, which helps with training and internships. So it's always worth exploring what support is available.
Too right. What about businesses that have pivoted their products and services and need capital to grow? How easy is it for them to secure grants?
Well, that depends on the type of grant, Kochie. Take the Export Market Development Grant, which is great for businesses who are targeting offshore markets. If you qualify, you can access it. But most grant programs are competitive, which means a few companies will be selected from a pool of applicants. So if you want to apply for something like accelerating commercialization or program under the new Modern Manufacturing Initiative, you really need to make a case for why it is your project that should be awarded funding.
Wow, so you don't automatically get the grant. It's almost like a beauty parade. You advise KPMG companies to apply. What's your advice to them to actually stand out?
So to start with, Kochie, we always say make sure that the program is right for your business and for your project. Read the guidelines to understand what the program intends to support. And if possible, even engage with a relevant funding body to pre-qualify your project.
Right.
In your application, make sure you really address the merit criteria and pay particular attention to those because a high score in those will give you the best chance of success. And finally, support your application with strong evidence, such as a compelling business plan, letters of support from project partners, and also ideally commitment from other funding sources.
Get advice, don't do it on your own by the sound of it. What if you're an innovation business and involved in research and development? What do you need there when you claim?
So the R&D Tax Incentive is a great program for companies to access when they're developing new products, processes and technologies. And from this financial year, the benefit actually increases significantly for those who spend a higher proportion of their overall expenses on research and development. It's a really important program and it can make a difference, a huge difference to startups because they can often get a refund of the offset, which really helps in those early stages. But to your question, what's important, it's absolutely critical to be able to show how your activities meet the definition of R&D and also to keep the right records to be able to substantiate your claim, both for the activities and also the expenses that you incur.
So you've got to be really organised in how you've set the business up.
Indeed, it's best to be able to track it as you go along.
Okay, Kristina, great advice there. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, Kochie.